Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adam the Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. As you can probably tell by my t-shirt, I was a 90s kid, and as such, I grew up watching Rugrats and playing on my NES, and this title invokes heavy nostalgia for both. One of the first things I should mention is that this game is designed from the ground up to be playable on the NES. And by that I mean that they literally release an NES card of the game, despite it only releasing earlier this year. If playing on a modern console, you'll not only be able to play the game in 8-bit mode, but you'll also be able to pause and switch at any time to the HD mode, with modern graphics and sound effects, though the actual gameplay is identical between the two modes. At the onset, you'll choose your difficulty. Easy or newborn mode gives you unlimited lives. Normal or baby mode allows you to switch characters mid-stage in the same way that the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game did, another cartoon that I spent much of the 90s watching. And hard or big kid mode makes it so that you have to choose a character at the start of the stage and stick with them. And if you've ever played Super Mario Bros. 2, this is going to feel very familiar. Being the star of the show, it should come as little surprise that Tommy is the jack of all trades and is average in just about every way possible. Chucky has a higher jump than everyone else, but also has slippery controls, and on top of that, he's the slowest to pick up items. Phil has the weakest jump, but he can pick up items faster than anyone else. And finally, Lil is also pretty slow to pick up items, but she can use her skirt to slow her descent a little. She can't do the temporary flying thing that Princess Toadstool can, but all the same, it should be pretty obvious that each of these is directly inspired by one of the playable characters from Super Mario Bros. 2. You'll start things out with a very brief intro stage in which the babies will see a commercial for a new Reptar video game. They lament that they don't have any monies, so they decide to pretend that they're in a video game instead. From there, you'll have 5 main levels, seeking out Reptar coins in each of them, with 3 coins hidden in each stage, plus a 4th for defeating the boss. In addition to being able to jump and climb, you'll also be able to pick up certain items and throw them, and sometimes this will be essential to reaching higher platforms. Doing a regular jump will stun most enemies, after which you can pick up and throw them. If you throw an item or enemy into another enemy, then you'll defeat both of them in the process. Alternatively, you can also hit down in mid-air to do a ground pound, which will defeat most regular enemies and can be used to interact with certain stage elements. In the top left corner of the screen, you'll have your bottle, which represents your HP, as well as cookies, which represent extra lives. If you have a cookie when you hit 0 HP, it'll immediately refill your bottle and use up a cookie, allowing you to continue seamlessly. If you're out of cookies and hit 0 HP, then you'll have to restart the stage. At the end of each stage, you'll have a boss fight, each of which is unique to their level. And on the subject of 90s games, I feel that rather than Super Mario Bros. 2, some of these are more inspired by the 1994 version of Donkey Kong. And I'm not just talking Thorg. Angelica's Nightmare Brother definitely reminds me of the final battle against Donkey Kong. Do you know what else was popular in the 90s? RPGs. This video is sponsored by Quest Portal, which can help you plan and play RPGs for a wide variety of different systems. It includes all the tools you need to play online with friends and digitally share maps, avatars, character sheets, and dice rolls. And with a Pro subscription, you can even use their AI tools to generate avatars or get answers from dozens of SRDs in mere moments. There are pre-made character sheets for numerous popular systems, or you can create your own templates and share them with other players. Whether you're a player or a GM, be sure to check the link in the description below and level up your RPG experience today. On to presentation, the game looks quite nice. In the 8-bit mode, it does of course have to follow the traditional limitations of an NES game thanks to being made as an actual cart. This means that, among other things, sprites are limited to 4 colors each, and a single scene can either scroll horizontally or vertically, but not both. Both styles capture the feel of the series, but the HD mode in particular is especially true to the art style of the cartoon series, and even has a number of extra cameos. Unfortunately, you won't be seeing Susie in the 8-bit version. Also, I got a good laugh out of seeing Cynthia taking on the role of Medusa Heads. On the downside, however, I do feel it should be mentioned that, by default, the HD version displays in a 16:9 ratio. However, being designed as an NES title, the game was itself designed around a 4:3 ratio. To achieve widescreen, the camera zooms in, which cuts off either the top or bottom of the screen. It's a minor thing, especially since the game does give you the option to set it to 4:3 with a border. Just be aware of this going in. After gaining all 24 Reptar coins, you'll be able to enter the final level where, wouldn't you know it, Angelica is the final boss. The game isn't too challenging, but then again, were you really expecting a Rugrats game to be hard? What I'm much more critical of is the game's brevity. Your first time through, the game will probably take you about an hour and a half to 2 hours to go through, and once you know where everything is hidden, you can easily beat it in under an hour. I don't mind short games in concept, but when you're asking $25 for the digital version, I expect it to last a lot longer than that. I did get it when it was free through Epic Games, but this makes it really hard to recommend unless you grab it while it's on sale. On one final note, I should also mention that the game does feature simultaneous co-op, allowing 2 players to each take on the role of a different baby. Since I do most of my recordings by myself, I don't have any actual footage of this. All in all, this is the Rugrats game that I wish we had got in the 90s. Aside from the one major flaw of the game's brevity, it's a great trip down memory lane, and I'm surprised at just how many of the characters I still remember to this day. Does the game do anything particularly new or innovative? For the most part, no, though I am glad that they brought simultaneous co-op to an NES platformer. The only other NES titles I can think of that did such were either beat-em-ups or sports games, and even those were fairly limited. The stages were varied, and the option to play as all 4 of the main characters was nice, even if the movesets are very derivative. But, as I said before, it is a very short adventure, and at the asking price, it's really hard to justify. Unless you have major nostalgia for the series, or plan to pick up a physical copy, I suggest waiting for a sale or a price drop. Nevertheless, there was a fair bit of stage variety, and I did thoroughly enjoy what was there. In conclusion, I find Rugrats Adventures in Gameland to be worthy of a solid 7.5 out of 10. Rugrats Adventure in Gameland is currently available for all major consoles and the NES, as well as for the PC via Steam and Epic. If you're interested in purchasing or learning more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Adventures in Gameland? What 90s cartoons do you think should have been made into NES games? If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. And if you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.